Hello and welcome to the 2024 Southland softball season previews. And I'm joined right now by Southeastern Louisiana head coach Rick Fremin and superstar Bailey Krolczyk. Guys, how are you doing today? Great to have you with us.
Doing well. Doing well. Good to hear from you.
Well, it's great to have you with us. And on the heels of such a successful season last year, we're really excited to see what you guys do down there in Hammond this year. And coach, I'll start with you. 19-5 in Southland play, 47-14 overall, which is new school records for total victories and two consecutive 40-win seasons. How does that lead you to prepare for 2024? And what are your expectations heading into this season?
Just continue to lay a foundation, high expectations to take care of business in a regular season, along with the conference tournament, and then on to NCAA regionals. That's been the standard from day one. And we'll just keep raising the bar here each and every year. And I expect nothing less going into this 24 season as well.
And going into the 24 season, you have a ton of returning players, 13 returning letter winners and 8 positional starters. Obviously, Bailey is one of those. How does that level of consistency from last year to this year help you continue to build those standards that you're talking about?
Anytime you can retain experience within the Southland Conference, it's a huge thing. And so the core group of our team, after the depart of 2 seniors that we were unable to replace, but we have a lot of young talent, added some transfers, and look forward to putting a new product out on the field this year.
And Bailey, for you, I know it's a team game, but there were huge individual successes last year. First player in Southeastern history to be named both Southland Player of the Year and Hitter of the Year. Some of your numbers are video game numbers, 50 RBI. How do you, on a personal level, try and top what you achieved last year?
I'm grateful for the opportunity that I had to, be here in the first place to do those things, and for my teammates for pushing me. But I think for next year, I'm not really thinking about, how are we going to top things. We're thinking more on like a team level on how, like Coach Fremin said, we've had goals from day one on trying to always break records as a team and try to go as far as we can as a team. It's not an individual sport, like you said.
And so as you try and achieve that, when you look towards your goals, obviously, of winning the Southland Conference and progressing to the NCAA tournament, what is it going to take from this team on the whole to be able to achieve those things?
I think where we're at right now is a very good position. Like, we show up every day, working hard, competing with each other, and just taking it day by day. Working on the little things is going to help us achieve the big things.
And Coach, you alluded to a couple of the seniors that you've lost, and one who jumps out at me is KK Ladner and the incredible season she had last year with 1.92 ERA and a 15-2 record. But you also return a number of very talented pitchers. So obviously we can't replace KK one for one, but how are you going to go about replacing the record that she had from the pitchers circle?
Yeah, both seniors, Ladner and Rayner, provided a lot of leadership that will be lost, but we have a large senior class this year that I feel will fill in a gap of that leadership. And we've added some talented freshmen that I think we're stronger defensively this year. And I think there's a pitching staff, which you always try to develop a staff, 8 arms through last year. The bulk of that returns. Added 2 transfers also to the pitching staff. So we look for depth in that area. They both have game experience at the division junior college level. And anytime you got a core group of the team returning, the nucleus and the understanding of the system and how you do things, it makes things a lot easier on the coaching staff. It's one of the best culture or chemistry groups that we've had since I've been here. And I think that'll help us in numerous games just by having that cohesion within. And we're just trying to develop some moxie and mental and physical toughness to get through the 56-game schedule, because we always play a very tough schedule as well. And that always prepares us for Southland Conference play.
Well, and I wanted to touch on that schedule because you're right. It is a tough schedule. You've got some big names on there. You've got a trip out west to California. You're hosting Syracuse and Maryland, going to Ole Miss, going to A&M. How do you build a schedule like that? And is it always your dream to try and test yourselves against the best teams to help you prepare for the Southland?
We've always played a pretty tough schedule here. I felt that's always helped us later in the season if you can keep your team healthy. And we want to be in certain environments for different reasons. And I believe that that has attributed to our success over recent years. Quality programs have been put on the field, which I think we're one of the top mid-major programs in the country. Or at least in that conversation, you know, you don't just win 87 games in 2 years by accident. So there's a lot of things being done right, contribute to the players and the coaching staff, and that schedule does help. So we look forward to this year's schedule. It will be challenging, but a lot of those games are not on the road. We will host several of those institutions on our home field.
And speaking of hosting, Bailey, I wanted to kind of ask you not just about those opportunities, but equally hosting the conference championship tournament this year, which is something that you have to look forward down there in Hammond. What's that experience going to be like, and how do you think you'll be able to take advantage of the situation having it in Hammond?
I'm sorry. Yeah, my first year here, it was hosted here, and it was just, it's a different vibe being at home and playing on your own turf. I mean, last season we played really well on our home turf, and it's always just exciting, even if it's a night game, rain game, sunshine. We just love being on our field, so I'm excited for it.
Awesome. And Coach, same for you, the opportunity to host the conference championship again down there in Hammond feels like it's something that the entire city will turn out for.
Yeah, I'm going into year 9, and this will be our 3rd year hosting under my tenure of being here. And anytime you can sleep in your own bed, take BP in your indoor, be in your own locker room, your own dugout, I think it just helps tremendously across the board with the players feeling comfortable. So we need to handle business throughout the season, both non-conference and conference, and do our very best to accomplish our goals there for good seeding. And then just let the bracket play out. By that time, you know, we hope the team can just play at the highest level possible and do their very best and give us an opportunity to do what's never been done here before.
And Bailey, Coach was talking earlier about, you know, bringing in freshmen and bringing in transfers and building each team each year. Obviously, we know the cyclical nature of college athletics. So when you're looking at your new teammates and figuring out how to welcome them in, what's that process like for the returners and you guys as senior leaders to kind of help build that team culture?
Well, since I've been in college now for 5 years and been in that freshman position and been in that junior college position, like, there's nothing I love more than welcoming in new players and like showing them our system and making sure that everyone feels just as important as the next person, you know what I mean? So it's good that this year we have such a good culture and everyone feels so welcomed, and it's just super exciting to have a bunch of new faces on the team.
And allow us to get to know, you know, a little bit more about the team behind the scenes, just a little bit here. Have some fun with me. In terms of your teammates, if you were going to single out an individual, who would you most like to cook dinner for you, and who would you least like to cook dinner for you in terms of the quality of meal you would receive?
That's easy. Sophia Stoddard, I would definitely have cook a meal for me. I mean, she can really cook mom style. Who I wouldn't want to cook dinner for me? I think honestly I'd have to say Colleen. I watched her make chicken and she puts not even salt on it. So for her.
Well, we'll see. We'll check back in with you at the tournament in May and see if she's improved at all. And Coach, just lastly for you, slight change of pace, but I think it's also worth noting that, you know, you're a former superstar quarterback at Belhaven Sports Hall of Famer. It's the right time of year. Give us your prediction for the Super Bowl. Chiefs, 49ers, how do you see that going?
Niners all the way. I like what they do. I like their style. So I'm going with San Fran.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first. Coach Rick Fremin says the 49ers. That's a guarantee, right? 100%. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, Coach Bailey, thank you so much for taking the time. Really great to chat with you about all things Southeastern softball. And we're really excited to see you guys back out there very soon.
Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you.